All right, what is up everyone? Back with another video. It's been a little while since I've made a video, been pretty busy here, but this is the first video of the new season, and it's featuring a triple anti-Skarmory team because Skarmory got the biggest buff of the season with Steel Wing being able to generate more energy, putting Skarmory at the #1 position on PvPoke in the Great League. And so a lot of teams are running Skarmory, and this team is triple anti-Skarm in the sense that Poliwrath in the lead is a water type, water and fighting type, that is resisting the Steel Wings. Galvantula and Charjabug are also both resisting the Steel Wings, being electric types. So you are going to take super effective flying damage with Poliwrath. You're going to take neutral flying damage with Galv and Charjabug. But the idea is that you're resisting Steel Wing on all three Pokemon, and Poliwrath is newly buffed this season with getting access to Icy Wind and having Scald be increased in the amount of damage it does and increased chance of lowering the opponent's attack. And so 2 move buffs for Poliwrath. And so what I've got is this triple anti-Skarm team here that actually did really well against non-Skarmory teams as well. So going to jump into commentating on the battles. We saw, I think it was like, so I went 13-2 with this team. 13-2, only 2 losses in 5 sets, or in 3 sets, I mean. And I'm going to showcase some of those battles here, looking at a mixture of the Skarm teams and the non-Skarm teams. And so team did really well overall. 13-2 is really good. And these are, it's the beginning of the season, but already, as you can see in the battle, it's going to be skilled battlers, difficult battles. But the team held up really well. So looking at the current battle, we got a Charjabug. I safe swapped into their Poliwrath, right? And they bring in a Bastiodon. And so Charjabug is going to get just kind of destroyed by the Bastiodon, but you're doing neutral damage with the Volt Switches and the Discharges. And then I can bring Poliwrath back in here. Poliwrath resists the Stone Edge and the Flamethrower, so I don't have to shield anything. I can counter all the way down. And I do have this Icy Wind doing neutral damage to the Mandibuzz and debuffing it. So Poliwrath's in a great position here against the Mandibuzz as well. And now I can bring in the Galv. I can take a neutral, probably an neutral Aerial that's been debuffed. And they're actually staying in. So we'll see what they have in the back. There's a lot of teams that are very weak to electric right now. Very weak to bug electric, actually. So you can see they have a Medi in the back. Medi got nerfed this season with the nerf to Psychic, right? As well as buffing some Pokemon that counter Medi really well. You have Toxie with access to Shadow Ball now. You have a lot of the flying types that got buffed by getting access to Fly. Skarmory buff, the Talonflame Incinerate buff. So Medi got nerfed pretty hard this season. You're still going to see people run it. It's still a great Pokemon. But we have Galv and Charjabug in the back to handle a Medi. So I was going for the 2-shield flex here, and I didn't quite make it. And so wanted to still win the battle, but I was going for the 2-shield flex first. So able to win the battle, though. Double electric is I've always been a fan of double electric teams in Great League and Ultra League. People don't really run this team composition very often, but it's very strong, especially in a flyer heavy meta like we have now. So here you can see the Skarmory in the lead. This time I'm actually staying in, right? We're doing neutral counters, neutral Icy Wind. I debuff the thing and then I swap to my Charjabug. And so I'm able to tank the move. Able to tank the Brave Bird. It's been debuffed. It's neutral. And then I can go for... I actually decided to go for 1 more Volt Switch because I would have rather them knock me out here and get some free farm from my Poliwrath. So I decided that's how I wanted to play that. I could have just thrown the other move right away. But now they bring in a Lantern, so this is really good, right? They're pretty weak to Electric, having a Skarmory Lantern. And so I can bring in... I debuff the Lantern, bring in my Galv here, and can just start farming energy with these Volt Switches. I could debuff again with Lunge, not Lunge. Having access to multiple debuff moves is really nice on this team as well. It just helps like the team synergy and dynamic. So I go for another Lunge. They actually catch it on Skarmory, which is a nice move from them. But I still get 1 Volt Switch through from it. And now I can throw another Lunge here, and this is GG. So... they're going for it though. They stay in a little longer. There's a lot of teams that are very weak to electric, running like water flyer cores. So like a water type in the lead with a flyer type in the back to cover for its grass weakness. And so there's, as well as having a lot of Talonflame and Skarmory. So Electric's really good in the meta right now, which is pretty fun. This person stays in here with their Jellicent after I swap to Galv. And I throw Energy Ball. The reason I have Energy Ball on here is if they do have like a Carbink that they bring out, if they do have a Mudboy, like a Whiscash or something like that, you can do a lot of damage to the Carbink with Energy Ball, and you can one-shot the Mudboys with it, which we're going to see. I think that happens 1 or 2 times here. But this is another example. They're triple weak to Electric, right? They had Jellicent, Talonflame, Azu, ABA Water team with a Flyer. So you can see how strong Electric is, against a team like this. I can come in here with Poliwrath. I don't really even need to shield. I can take the Play Rough and just keep farming down. Can shield this one, can build to 2 moves. Got some options here. They're out of energy now. There's a Talonflame. I should have just gone for the Scald here, but the Icy Wind doesn't quite KO, but they weren't out of move anyway. So I think they needed 2 Incinerates for their next move there. So able to get the win. Double Electric, very strong right now. We'll jump into the next match and see. Yeah, like I said, it's a mixture of Skarm and non-Skarm teams. I think it was a total of 5 Skarmory teams. And I think we won every single one. So here's another great lead. It's a Greninja. Our whole team is good against that thing. What I'm going to do with Amandabuzz swap is farm up some extra energy, bring in the Galv here. Now I'm not, again, I'm running Lunge Energy Ball, so I don't actually have an electric type charge move. And so it's okay with Mandibuzz here because the Lunge is doing neutral damage because it's part dark, part flying. So we'll see if they want to spend a shield here or not. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, like my whole team's good against this Greninja. But Poliwrath, being able to bring Poliwrath in here and just farm up some energy. I resist Hydro, resist Night Slash. If they stay in, I'm going to throw this Icy Wind here to debuff them. I don't want to really take another Hydro without debuffing them. So I get the debuff off. Hydro comes through. They got A9 in the back. So this is really fine. It's Powder Snow A9. I can debuff them and bring in my Charger Bug. Would have been better to throw the Scald there. Would have done more damage, neutral stab damage, right, and still could have gotten a debuff. But either way, I just wanted to debuff the thing with something so I could bring in Charger Bug and start throwing some moves at it. Even though this is resisted move, I'm throwing this one because I didn't want them to get to another Weather Ball before I got to my Discharge. So either way, like I said, we win. Still have a shield, still had health on Poly. So GG to my opponent. Getting into the next battle here. Here's Lantern in the lead. We want to swap out of this right away. My backline's going to resist the Sparks. I'm going to shield the first one because I know that I can lunge something and debuff their attack. So usually going to shield the first attack thrown at Galv and then get a lunge off, and you're taking debuff moves after that. So Vigoroth. Vigoroth has gotten a buff this season as well. Does have access to Rock Slide now. And so instead of a neutral drill run, they can actually one-shot me with a Rock Slide. At this point, this is just a Body Slam. So we live this, and I can actually farm it all the way down, and now I can throw a lunge at whatever comes in. It would have been nice to get the Energy Ball off. I didn't know. I just kind of blind through the lunge. But that's fine. It's a Poliwrath. And I can come in here. They're debuffed. I'm not, and I have an HP advantage. So they're a shield up, but we're in a really good position here. I can take an Icy Wind, throw one of my own to debuff them again, and then just see if they're going to swap out after this. So they swap out to the Lantern. I debuff this, bring in my Charger Bug. So they're able to do neutral surfs, but again, they're debuffed, and I'm resisting the Sparks. So Charger Bug can easily kind of handle this. I can just throw the X Scissor. X Scissor and Discharge do the same amount of damage, but Discharge costs more. So if it's going to be neutral damage, you always want to go X Scissor instead of Discharge. So again, here I farm up to 2. If they shield this one, I can throw the other one. If they let it go, they were out of shields, my bad. So yeah, throw the X Scissor here, and GG. Team was like, is really fun to play. So I hope y'all see this and want to try it. For a Medi in the lead, you swap right to Galv. Galv's usually the safe swap. They have a Dunsparce, which, again, they're doing super effective rollouts, and they have Rock Slide. But with the debuff, it's a defense-oriented Pokemon. It's a non-stab Rock Slide. And so if I can get off one more debuff here, then I can actually live the next Rock Slide that comes through, and I can flip this matchup, which is what I want to do. I want to get my Charjabug on the Medi rather than my Poly on the Medi. And so I'm able to either flip the matchup here in even shields or get their second shield, and that's going to be okay too. Medi in the lead. We'll see what they have in the back. I can't remember what it is. I think Charjabug did really well here, though. Yeah, it's a Skarmory in the back. So this is one of the Skarmory teams. And you can just see the Volt Switches are chunking. Their Steel Wings are doing nothing. Even a Brave Bird I don't think would knock me out here, but that's going to be the hardest hitting move that they could throw. So I shield that one, and I can start doing X-Scissors against the Medi. So I think one more X-Scissor and then a few Volt Switches, and it's knocked out. And then I can throw the Discharge at the Skarm. So they see the writing on the wall. They top left. GG. Let's see what we have in the next battle. Here's a Skarmory in the lead, okay? So sometimes I stay in for a little while, throw an Icy Wind. This time I just threw a few counters and then swapped to Galvantula. I mean, the whole point of this team is the whole team's good against Skarm, so you can play it really however you want. I like to switch and draw out whatever's in the back. There, if they have an anti-electric Pokemon, that's typically how you play an ABB team, right? You swap out early to draw out their counter to the first B so that your second B is free. So I drew out a Dragonair. You're able to do big damage with Lunge and debuff it, even though it resists. And now they got a Whiscash back here. So this is fine. I can just stay in here with my Poliwrath, and then I have Charjabug for the Skarmory. So I don't need to shield this first Mud Bomb. I can go for another Icy Wind here, and then I can just let Poliwrath go and farm the thing down with Charjabug. Being a ground type, it's going to resist. Ground type double resist electric. Water type is weak to electric, so what you end up with is a single resistance to electric. But the thing's double debuffed, the Volt Switches are going to chunk enough since it's a Shadow Whiscash to where I think the best move was letting Poliwrath go down, bringing the Charjabug in. And GG. All right, let's see what we got next. Moving through these battles. This one was great. They had a Deoxys lead. I swapped to Galv, and they answered with a Skarmory. I mean, it's just a bad position. Now, remember, I don't have an electric type charge attack, but they actually shield the lunge, so I'm not being cheeky or anything throwing lunges at them. It's just I don't have an electric type move, so might as well throw the lunge, get the debuffs, and I actually get both of their shields, I believe. Yeah, both shields. And I'm happily give up my shields for this to win this matchup, flip switch, and have a ton of energy for whatever they have in the back line. It's a Whiscash. Here we go. This is why you run Energy Ball right there. One shot the thing, and it's over. GG. Energy Ball is a fun moveset. There were some times where I regretted not having an electric move. I think there was a game I lost because I was Galvantula versus Charizard endgame, and they were able to get to a Blast Burn. If I had Discharge, I would have won, but all I could throw was a lunge at them, and the Blast Burn still KO'd. One sec, let me let my dog out. Kids are watching a movie in the other room. Okay, so they bring in a Mantine there. Again, this team's very weak to electric. You see a lot of this. A lot of these teams that just no one's really running electric types other than Lantern, and so Galv and Charjabug backline are very strong. So against this Lantern, I can stay in. I want to be able to put my Charjabug against the Belly Bolt. I debuff it once. Belly Bolt has a strict electric type moveset: Thundershock, Discharge, Zap Cannon. Okay, so all it has is electric moves, whereas Charjabug, I have bug type moves as well. So I debuff it, bring in Charjabug. I'm able to drop an X-Scissor. I can take a Zap Cannon and a Discharge. And then we're in great position here to finish off this Lantern. So props to the opponent for also running double electric, right? They had they had Lantern Belly Bolt, so another double electric team, but our double electric happened to be a better team composition for that battle. All right, next battle. Dragonair in the lead. So I'm gonna stay in here, and they fear the icy wind. I'm not gonna throw it right away because you know, I anticipated a catch. I was gonna let them make the first move. So if they would have thrown their body slam, I could have shielded that and then thrown an icy wind. But they decided to try to make the catch, and so I over farmed a little bit, and then I bring in my Charger Bug here. So I think this is worth a shield and farm down. And then I can have 2 moves to throw at the Dragonair. They did bank all of their energy. So I'm going to throw my move right away. I think they got denied right there. And so they weren't. Otherwise, they would win CMP like they're doing here. So I got lucky with that, how that mechanic works, and got a deny of their move. So I was able to get off one of mine. Now they bring in Lantern here to catch the Icy Wind. So I want to farm up to another Icy Wind and have that banked for when Dragonair comes back in. And then I can bring in my Galv here. Again, I'm shielding the first one. I think they threw a Thunderbolt. It's kind of weird. Surf's the better move to throw there. But I shield the first one so that I can get off the lunge. Now they're double debuffed. I can take this Surf, farm them down. I can throw the lunge at Dragonair, and if they shield this, I've got Icy Wind that I can throw with my Poliwrath to one-shot. I actually make it to the lunge before I get farmed down by the Dragon Breath, so GG. Lunge, even though it's resisted against a Dragon type, Gal's attack stat's crazy. Shadow Dragonair is glassy, so yeah, the thing kills him. So this was one of the 5-0 sets. Again, like I said, I think I did 13-2 with this team. So facing another Legend Battler here. Swampert, this is a good lead. And Swampert's usually going to have a Skarm in the back. That core is popular again. And so I'm just staying in with Poliwrath, knowing that they're probably going to, at some point, swap in their Skarmory. And I'll be ready for that with my double electric type. And so I'm just staying in here. They do bait me with a Hydro, and I'm going to shield the Earthquake here. And then just counter the thing down. So we'll see what comes in. It is a Skarmory, so I can debuff, swap to Galv. That's the play, right? Debuff, swap to Galv. And then it's a Registeel in the back. So this is, again, where it would be nice to have an electric-type charge move. I'm going to be lunging the Registeel. Now, Galv does resist Focus Blast and Zap Cannon. So this is actually not a bad matchup. I can double lunge. They'll be triple debuffed here for the next move, and then I can bring my Poliwrath back in to counter the thing down. They have to throw energy, or else I'll be able to Volt Switch them down here. So they throw a move. Now Poliwrath can come in, counter down, and I can throw another Icy Wind at the Skarm. Okay, but they swap right away, so instead I'm just going to switch right to Charge Bug. Now they can nuke me with a Brave Bird, but again, it's only neutral damage, so I think I live it. And then one more Volt Switch will knock them out. Discharge KOs the Reggie, so they top left. I think that's all. That's the end of the battles that I have. It's just a random assortment of my sets from earlier today. Hope y'all enjoyed the team. It's a solid team. It's fun to run. It's anti-meta. And so if you're looking for a way to counter all the Skarmories in the meta right now, check out this team. Let me know what you think in the comments. Y'all be blessed.